Lucian Freud composition are often heavily worked with thickly applied paint that typically reveal the humanity of his subjects. While depicting the physical reality in the presence, and his scrutiny was always very direct and penetrating.
The model for this large and truly powerful picture of the nude man was Leigh Bowery. He was an Australian performance artist and was one of Freud's favorite models, and you can really see every bruise, every blemish, every bump on Leigh Bowery, whose mountainous back is really a landscape. I think of ridges and valley as you look carefully, and I think many of us in the museum were all reminded on this picture of the words of the great American painter Willem de Kooning, who said flesh is the reason why oil painting was developed. If you look at the variety of textures in this painting, you look at his flesh, you look at the carpet, and you look off in the far right, and those paint splatters on the far back wall are what Freud did while he was painting. He would flick paint against the wall as part of his practice, and then you have the texture of the wood floors as well. So it's just a stupendous example of virtuosic handling of oil paint by a master painter.
Now, Lucian Freud's studio in West London has been left completely untouched since he died last summer. A shrine of sorts, but not one that anyone will be able to visit. David Dawson, who assisted Freud for 20 years and inherited the house, won't be opening it up to the public, but he has allowed our culture editor Matthew Kane a peek before the lock is turned.
No, I won't do that. And Lucian's a very private man, so I would keep his wishes of privacy.
Is it ever sad for you coming in here now?
Well, it's both. It's rather nice being in here, but then if he's not coming back, and those moments when he's wishing to walk in around the door again, and it's not going to happen, then it's sad.
It may provide a unique insight into the working practices of one of our most important painters, but for at least the lifetime of David Dawson, this is the last the public will see of Lucian Freud's studio.
Lucian was born in Berlin in 1922. From the outset, his mother encouraged his talent. She hoarded all his childhood drawings. He was her favourite, and she named him after herself, Lucy. Lucian. In later life, Lucian denied being taken to the great Berlin galleries. He rarely talked about his influences. He refused any sort of label. But he did talk about his affinity with animals, and in particular, horses. For the young Lucian, horses were a comfort, a way of escaping the world.
I was always alone, and I always wanted to be. My mother said my first word was alone, which means alone, leave me alone. I always liked being on my